Welcome to the digital version of In Wine Country.
This is the Pizzoni Vineyard in California's Santa Lucia Highlands. Hello and welcome. We're in Wine Country and I'm Mary Babbitt. For many wine lovers, Pizzoni on a label means a great Pinot Noir. Well, there's more than just a name behind this label. We'll get to know the famous grape grower Gary Pizzoni and his family later in our show. But first, chefs in Wine Country source the best ingredients from local growers, but one in particular goes the extra mile. At this chef's table, a kitchen garden makes his restaurant a total farm-to-fork dining experience.
The Europeans used to call tomatoes love apples. I named my farm Love Apple Farm because Harry Love, who is kind of an interesting figure in California history, built this house in 1885, my farmhouse. So between Love Apple and Harry Love, the name stuck.
Cynthia Sandberg grows tomatoes. But these are not just any tomatoes. You'll find more than 100 heirloom varieties on the vine at her 2-acre biodynamic Love Apple Farm in California's Santa Cruz Mountains wine country.
I feel wedded to them, you know.
Today she's picking with David Kinch,
And then you eat them.
chef and owner of the highly acclaimed Manresa Restaurant.
Our restaurant and our cuisine, we base it on finding the best products that we can possibly find.
I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
David's here to get the main ingredient for an all-heirloom tomato dinner later that night.
You see a lot of heirloom tomatoes this time of the year, but you go to the farmer's market, and my opinion is that a lot of them are not ripe. Cynthia was the first grower I really found where she actually picked the tomatoes when they were really, really ripe.
It looks great from this side, but there's a little bit of a, one end of it that's not quite ripe.
David can get all the perfectly ripe tomatoes he wants.
Gee
Yeah,
whiz.
that's nice.
That's because Cynthia's garden is also Manresa's kitchen garden,
We're getting about 40% now, 40 to 50% of everything we grow here.
with the goal being up to 100%. Cynthia also grows vegetables and herbs for the restaurant.
Onions, turnips, beets, lettuces, kales, beans, peppers, you name it, we have it growing, we're trying to grow it.
We talk about menu items. She makes her recommendations. We're finding out how much of a specific thing to grow to keep the restaurant sustained in that particular ingredient during its season.
Oh my goodness, a pig?
Cynthia also raises goats for milk and chickens for eggs. Everything's as fresh as it can be because once the day's picks are loaded, Manresa Restaurant is just 30 minutes away.
We can pick the vegetables up, we can bring it to the restaurant, and we can process them and have them on the plate a couple hours later for the dinner service. And that's the whole point of doing this. We are located in Los Gatos, which is in the foothills of the Santa Cruz Mountains. We're surrounded by some really great old established wineries. I think Manresa has a great sense of place. It's reflective of where it is.
David says there's a difference in his kitchen, especially when tomatoes and other treasures arrive from Cynthia's garden.
The cooks at the restaurant, they're not opening up boxes of produce coming from a produce company. They're getting flats of this vegetable's been pulled from the ground a couple hours. There's dirt on them. They haven't been trimmed.
On tonight's menu,
7 courses. We're going to probably use about 30 different varieties for tonight. But we're going to have some raw, we're going to have some cooked, we're going to have some hot, we're going to have some cold. Be a little diverse in the techniques that we're serving with them and allow the tomatoes to shine.
as each course is plated up, dishes are sent out to the dining room.
We're doing a fruit and vegetable gazpacho tonight. We're also doing a salsa, going with some of the local Monterey Bay abalone, and that will have as many different varieties of tomatoes as we can actually get into that. We're doing a persimmon pudding in which the tomatoes are substituted for the persimmon, and it's served with a tomato curd, like a lemon curd, except made with fresh tomatoes. Tonight, more is in honor of Cynthia. We're showcasing what she grows in a celebration of our partnership.
I feel honored that David Kinch is using my vegetables. It's a fabulous feeling when I eat there. I just think it's really cool.
At Manresa, it's a true farm-to-fork experience, fresh off the vine in wine country. If you're watching us as a podcast, click on inwinecountry.com for more about our show.